Greetings, this is Omi from Imperial Insights. I just wanted to share a little bit about some lessons that I'm learning right now. And first of all, again, if you've been following me for a while, every now and again I talk about showing your work, like the way that our teachers used to, or some of our teachers, depending on, I guess, when you went through school, used to talk about math, right? So when you did work in math class, whether it was algebra, um, calculus, whatever, a lot of times to make sure that you truly understood the concepts, you were told that you had to show your work. And so that meant just detailing the steps that you took to get to the answer that you got, even if you had memorized all the necessary formulas and functions. You just had to show that in order to be graded properly. And I firmly believe in showing my work to some degree. Not all my business, but certain things, mainly because of the fact that, especially now in this culture, when we have all the social media, when we have these smartphones, even that make it so easy to, what do you call it, like, crop photos, change photos, filter photos. When I first was really active on the internet in a social way, we had digital cameras where you basically had to take a picture. You could delete it. That was the easier part. Like, you could look at it and delete it. But as far as, like, having to take the picture, you got what you got. There were no necessarily any real good filters. You probably could do some kind of special editing if you had Photoshop or, whatever. But for most of us, it was take a picture, check it. If you liked it enough, you uploaded it, and it took like forever in today's terms. Like now it's seconds, then it was like minutes. You had to wait and upload the photo and this and that. But today, everything looks instant, everything looks put together. It's so easy to make it seem like, look like, feel like people are overnight successes. And when you aren't, or you feel like you're not, that can be a whole other kind of struggle. And so I talk about showing your work because I think it's important to talk about certain aspects of my journey and things like that, because those are the things that I wish someone had shared with me when I was learning certain things and learning more about myself and coming into a deeper spirituality and so on. And my spiritual godmother, Oyawumi, she recently did a post on Facebook about priests taking care of themselves, physically as well as spiritually, in order to be the best vessels that they can be for the energies that they carry, which I'm also very, very passionate about. All of that said, how does this relate to me? So I actually was thinking about going back into doing certain levels of work that I haven't done for a while, such as readings and energy work and things like that. And I had kind of planned to do it for about now. I had started to think about, okay, well, I can start announcing these things and, putting it out there and maybe getting a calendar together and so on. And something kept telling me to wait, to not do it yet. And so I at this point, I have learned to just listen to it, to not go ahead and steamroll over that feeling. And again, this was a couple of weeks ago. So I did what I usually do. I set everything up, or just about everything up. So, once I got the go signal, I could just put everything in motion. Maybe a week or so after that, after I had set everything up and got the sense that, okay, maybe it's time for me to start to ease back into this work. Actually, I had gotten that sense in late August, it was like, okay, let me go ahead and start to get ready to gear back and get into this. And when I got the message to wait, I waited. And now I know why. Because I'm involved in a few things, a few learning processes, and I had some personal changes, very painful, challenging personal things go on. No death, thankfully, no loss of life or grief per se, but things that were just bad enough to be the kind of thing that would throw me off, to be the kind of thing that would force me to, let's say if I were in the midst of, having a client load and things like that, that would have pushed me to get through the rest of the appointments that I had and then say, you know what, I'm taking a couple of months and not doing this right now. That's pretty much what happened, except I hadn't announced it yet. And even in the midst of, like, I couldn't even be frustrated like I would have been a couple of years ago. I was grateful that I listened, grateful that I learned and understood that when I get that feeling, something that's walking with me sees something coming that I don't know is coming. And it's telling me, this can happen, but just wait a minute. And that's important. It's important. If it's very, very important that you do your work, that you deal with trauma, that you deal with, your anxiety to the point that you can, that you deal with all of those things and your triggers so that you can navigate easier in a better way. I always want to bring to my clients the best experiences that I can. I want to be in a place where I feel clear as a vessel for the messages that I have been, what's the word I'm looking for? That I have been privileged or, trusted with to give. And when I am in distress, when I am in turmoil, my instinct, my energy goes to me and goes to my self-preservation and or healing. And thankfully, I also follow my instincts about a course that someone I know is teaching, and went for that, even though on the surface it looked like it was something that I quote unquote didn't need, that it was something that I may have been that I'm past that, right? And one of the messages that I actually have gotten in spiritual contexts has been to not act like I know everything. And that's not something that I do on the surface. It's not like I walk around like, well, actually, like that kind of thing. I've never been that person. However, I have been given a lot of reinforcement over the course of my life about being intelligent, about being smart, about figuring things out, about all of that. So sometimes I have to remember to not, like, everything is not going to be thought through with my mind, that some things I have to feel through, some things I have to live through, some things I have to do, some things I have to navigate through in a different way. Because my mind, my brain, that ego part, that part that only deals with what I can see, touch, taste, hear, feel directly in front of me, as evidenced by the capacity of my human brain, the actual organ of my brain, is, limited on some level. And when I put in the heart, when I put in the spirit, when I put in the other aspects of self, of being, as a spiritual being having a human experience, that's when I get the whole picture. And that's when I can navigate in a different way. And I've said this several times. I will continue to say it. You cannot think everything through. Not everything. You can do it to a point. You should do it. You should use your common sense. You should always use that, be that, use your mind. If it looks like a duck and walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a goddamn duck. That's perfectly fine. But there are some other things, some more nuanced things that, we just do not get through with brain power alone. And emotion can be one of those things. Feeling, relationships, interrelating with other people in our lives, especially intimate relationships, things like that. All of the thought processes, some of that happens, but that's in the heart, that's in the body, that's in the spirit. And we have to come at those things from that space, knowing that. So I just wanted to share that, and say and emphasize that you don't owe anybody anything as far as your doing a certain thing for people, or being there for people, in the sense of oh, well, I've been doing this work for 10 years, I gotta keep doing it even though I'm tired, even though I'm raggedy, even though I'm falling apart. I gotta keep doing it because everybody expects me to do it. No, you need to stop and take care of yourself, period. End of story. I know self-care has become a big buzzword now. Some things about it are more superficial than, more in-depth kind of things and all that. I get all that. And, yes, you do need to take care of yourself, and preserve yourself. And you are not what you do for other people. You are not what you do for other people. That is not the fullness of who you are as a human being. You did not come here to be anybody's workhorse, to the exclusion, to your own detriment. You didn't come here for that. That is not your purpose. I don't care how much of a servant you are. That's not your purpose. That is that's servitude. I guess I could say that's servitude, not serving or being of service. There's a difference. You are not a beast of burden. You're not an ox. You're not a mule. That's not what you're here for. Women especially have this issue, but there's some brothers out here who, I've seen that kind of carry that too, because of, maybe mama was in a bad situation, or, dad wasn't there, and, they had to be the man at the house at like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, things like that. Wherever the root of the issue is, the point is, that's not all you are here for. That is not all of who you are. So you don't have to do more than you are capable of, because you feel like it's going to get you some kind of prop, some kind of kudos, whatever you think it's going to get you. It may get you that temporarily, but what it's also going to get you is exhausted and sick, and breaking down in all kinds of ways. And then that's going to take you a while to recover from, and you're going to get removed out of whatever you were doing for that feeling of being useful or whatever anyway. So you might as well just stop now and breathe, so that you're stronger when you really are ready to come back, and when you really are ready to do the work again. So that was a almost 14-minute way of saying that I do look forward to, at some point, renewing that side of my work, and bringing things back. But for now, I need to continue to uphold the obligations that I already have, and do those to the best of my ability. And I will add on more when I feel ready and able to handle that, in conjunction with what is happening with me as a human. And I say all that to say that I hope that if you are going through something similar, that you listen to your heart, that you listen to your spirit, that you talk to the ancestors, the Orisha, the Neteru, the Abosom, the Loa, the angels, whoever you talk to, whatever you connect with, and ask what they see coming. It could be that you get the green light. It could be, go ahead, do it. It's your time. And it could be, wait, pause, take a second, breathe. Just listen to whatever it is you get. And save yourself some strife. Save yourself some trouble. Save yourself some grief. Y'all know I don't like to be long-winded. And this is a little bit longer than I intended, but I hope that it blessed you in some way. And like I said, I just wanted to put that out there. So take care of yourselves, and I will talk to y'all soon. Peace.